Playa Rabbit trademark. Alright, what the business is one and only Playa Rabbit, man. Officially signing on Playa Rabbit TV. Took us a little bit of time to actually get everything going. So, you know what I'm saying, we here. And basically what I'm doing is I'm actually just adding another link. But I'm going to take these headphones off completely so they make my neck irritate. I don't see how y'all can wear those like that. I can't do that. You get on my nerves. Alright, so the reason I have called this meeting is because, well, number one, I wanted to officially say that Playa Rabbit TV is back on the air. We're going to officially be here every single week. Might be at different locations, might be at my shows, which actually is something I'm going to talk to y'all about later on. But, what do you have? So, generally speaking, first order of business, if you don't have a Playa Rabbit account on playarabbit.biz, please log on and get one, please, man, because I guess I'll go ahead and go in on Facebook. Facebook is tripping. I don't know what the hell they doing. They turn it into some kind of police government society type website where they trying to charge you for talking to your own people. So the reason why I've been slowing down on my updates on Facebook is because I've been noticing that Facebook is trying to charge me just to get the message that I want to say to all of y'all, to only a small portion of y'all. And if I don't pay for it, then it's only going to reach, what, 10, 15 of y'all? I know I got more than 10 or 15 fans on Facebook, so that's not going to work for me. So generally, this is what I'm doing. I'm actually trying to get to the point to where it's not going to be a situation like that anymore. It's basically going to be a situation where I'll be actually running everything from Playa Rabbit.biz. So, I mean, updates, chats, things like this, Playa Rabbit TV, it's all going to be running from Playa Rabbit.biz. I mean, when I first started, it actually was. Generally, before it was this, it was actually on Yahoo Groups. I know if I have any fans with me that's been there with me since day one, that's where they know me from, Yahoo Groups. And I mean, any of my homegirls that's been there since day one, which is always funny because people always be telling me, bro, I mean, you got like a whole bunch of girls that follow you. Um, but I mean, I can only give props to that, to, you know what I'm saying, just being a cool person and making sure that, you know, I try my best to, you know, talk back to people. If I'm on Facebook, I talk to you. If I'm not, I won't. Honestly, obviously, there's never a situation where I'm trying to ignore anybody. It's really more like saying if I'm actually doing something, I'm not going to be on there. And if I'm free, then I'm on there. Which brings me to my next topic. Shout out to Obama for winning. You know what I'm saying? I actually did vote for you. You know what I'm saying? And stood in that line outside. I was waiting to the very, very last day. Shout out to Cynthia Zagira. I think she said she voted for him, or she was going to vote. No, my bad. You know, put words in my mouth. So that's why I'm being on the news tomorrow saying Playa Rabbit and put words in the news anchor's mouth. Let's see. I don't know how rude. I'm texting, well, twittering and talking to y'all at the same time. So I'm multitasking. So, yeah, shout out to everybody that went out and voted. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's just been doing whatever they can to help out. All the people over there in Hurricane Sandy, we hear you. We definitely trying to put together a program right now. I actually have a couple of programs together, which is one of the reasons why I felt the need to go ahead and start a Play Rabbit TV, because I need y'all help. I need y'all help. I'm actually planning on releasing Iron Rebel. Had some issues with the release, which for some reason it seems like every time the release gets real close, something happened. So this time, the track listing actually didn't show properly, which means, of course, when the track listing didn't show right, it means that everybody's going to be listening to the album and they're looking for the tracks and they're like, okay, because everybody, a lot of people really associate tracks with numbers anyway. But some people associate tracks just by actually just looking and reading. Like, I'm one of those kind of guys that, the first thing I do, I get CD, turn it over, I get CDs. I turn it over and I look at the back. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you an example. Okay. Alright. I get CDs. This is the example. Turn it over, look at the back, look at the tracks, all that kind of stuff. Some people don't have tracks on the back of the album anymore. I kind of understand why. I don't know if I'm going to have none of them on the rest of my house because I don't know if anybody really be paying attention no more. They just be like, man, go to track 15. Track 15 go hard, folks. So, yeah, I mean, basically, um, if the track listing is off, even if it ain't nothing wrong with the CD or nothing like that, it just irritates me. So I'm all about details as much as I possibly can, and on the budget that I'm on, you know what I'm saying, I do everything from my own pocket. So it really matters to me for those little things to become proper. Because when I'm showing off my music, my CDs, or trying to sell them or anything, a lot of times people, tend to buy things anyway because they trust you. But I just want to make sure, if it's my product, my name is on it. Even though, shout out to my homeboy Rollo for giving me the pep talk on the whole situation and just saying, look, man, just drop it, bro. I mean, you got money to make, go ahead and do it. But, you know what I'm saying? When your fans and family, which is what I feel y'all are, you know what I'm saying? You make sure that every little detail is what it needs to be. And I've been working hard on this one to really show that, I have grown and that every year that I've been doing this for every single album, especially since this is my 5th album and the first of a trilogy. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to say that, but the first of a trilogy, um, it really has to set everything off to set the tone. Not just the first song, not just the first couple of songs, not even the first single, because I really appreciate everybody for responding the way they did to She's a Dance Machine, because when I put the song out, I really put it out just because I wanted to put something out from my heart and then receive a lot of response on it. And I mean, it was crazy to see, you know what I'm saying, like 15,000 downloads on it in the first month, and that was it's probably been the biggest, most amount of downloads I've gotten. I know everybody talks about Outside the Club and Keep It Coming and all them other songs, because Outside the Club respectfully got the most views I've ever gotten on any video at any time. But of course, that was a point when it was a different point for YouTube too. So YouTube was really high point, so it kind of made it easier, even though it didn't make it easy at all, because I ain't gonna lie to you, getting a million views on a video is hard as hell. For anybody that thinks that I tried to boost those numbers, you try to get a million views on a video and see how long it takes you to actually do it if you boosting them. Now go back and say, for example, I'm going to send a message to every single one of my fans, and then I'm going to ask them for a list of their friends to send them a message, because I could put them all on a list, but I would actually have to address them first before I actually put them all on a list. So somebody has to send every single one of those people an email. Guess how long it takes? It takes a long ass time. It takes even longer if you want to establish a relationship with that person to get feedback and make sure you don't let that person get away from you. And a lot of those things, or a lot of things that I do on a daily basis, people just don't know them because they don't see those things. So when you see me with 50,000 followers on Twitter or something like that, yeah, I mean, it's a good milestone, but don't mistake it. It's not like it just happened by itself. I'm not on a record label. I run my own record label. So everything I do is actually directly from my pocket. Everything that I've done, the house that I live in, the cars that I have, all the things that I don't brag about, all of the finances that I've gotten and been successful about. I do these things because, I mean, this is what I love to do. So I do it regardless. I do it if the times are good. I do it if the times are bad. I mean, for people who think that I'm broke or anything like that, I guess you can call me what you want to, but if you notice that every time you see me coming around, I'm putting out something on my own, I must be getting the money from somewhere. So, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I guess somebody don't have an excuse for everything they talking about, but you know, it is what it is. So let's get back on subject because you know what I'm saying it's only gonna be so much I can put on YouTube. So I'm gonna stop it when it gets to probably about 14 minutes or something. Okay. Updates. Here we go. Iron Rubble is still coming out. I'm actually just holding on to it so I can get the tracks listing right. If you want to pre-order Iron Rubble, you can go to playerrubble.biz, you can go to the store page, or you can go to playerrubble.bigcartel.com. I can't flash on the thing because I haven't had opportunity to do it. I'm actually just doing this. No, it'll be up on the site. You'll see it. But if not, you'll see it on playerrubble.biz or whatever. So, um, what else? What else? The situation with Channel 8 actually got put aside because, well, just to be honest with you, I mean, it was some, I guess you can call it industry stuff that happened with the planning and everything, and because of that, it made me feel uncomfortable about moving forward with the product, but I did anyway because I gave my word. And shout out to Channel 8, WFAA, all the people there. I really appreciate everything that you did for me by giving me that opportunity. And believe me when I say I want to make sure that everything is right on my side before I try to approach you with the idea again. So that way there's no confusion. All there is just setting a date, getting people to show up, having a good concert. Because honestly, that's really what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be me performing on October 31st, first time on TV live, all that good stuff. But it just didn't happen that way. So take your chances when you can. I mean, keep in mind, I'm doing all this from an independent point of view, so it actually is a lot to take on by yourself. But the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm attaching charity to the actual CD. So in other words, when you purchase a copy of I Am Rebel, or if you buy a T-shirt or any merchandise from my store, every time I surpass a certain amount of income, or we'll just say for the CDs, for example, every time I sell 1,000 copies, I donate $1,000 to my favorite charity. I'll change up the charities every time I hit 1,000 copies, or should I say, every time I'm ready to download to donate $1,000. The idea is I want to do this every month. Now, I mean, I know, whatever numbers really don't matter, but the whole point is that I have to have enough money to be able to do things. And at the same time, it feels good to be able to pay it forward from your pocket, my pocket, our pockets together, and being able to make sure the news actually is showing us. It's not necessarily me saying I'm trying to get all the fame and glory for the fact that I'm doing something to honor my community. I'm trying to help out all communities. If anything, I want to redo this type of situation everywhere I go. My dream is to be able to do this kind of performance with every news station across the world. Literally. I'm not lying. I'm reading seriously. If I can be on America, Good Morning America, or wherever I'm going, I mean, I really just want to make sure that I'm traveling with this idea to where it's not necessarily just me saying, I mean, and $1,000 really doesn't help a lot of people in that situation, but I've been in that situation before. $1,000 is a lot of money when you ain't got it. It's a whole lot of money when you need it. So every little bit helps. And what I'm trying to do is just be that spark to cause people to understand, look, you really can't help. You really can make a difference. If you don't feel like donating, just go down the street, go to a organization in your area. There's got to be a mission in your area. Donate to the mission in your area. Give them money. But, okay, next order of business, because we only got a little bit of time here. I'm So Player mixtape will actually be released on, we'll say, the week before Christmas, because I haven't actually pinned down a date yet. That'll probably be an updated video. But I'm actually gonna release I'm So Player. That'll be a full mixtape. The mixtape is gonna have some original tracks, some jack beats. You know what I'm saying? The mixtape will be free to all the public. I'm actually gonna put it up on Google Play for free. Well, we'll figure that whole situation out. I'll probably just put up kind of like an EP version on Google Play, but it'll still be free. But it'll just be the tracks that I actually can put out. But as far as the actual mixtape fully, the full mixtape is going to be up on playrabbit.biz. I'm going to have a conversation with some of the mixtape websites because I kind of like talking to people instead of just finding a company to shoot it out to everybody. I kind of like having those one-on-one relationships.